Books presents a sci-fi audio production, Grail, by Elizabeth Bear. This unabridged recording is narrated by Alma Cuervo. Sci-Fi Audio is an imprint dedicated exclusively to science fiction and fantasy titles on CD, from classics to bestsellers, cult hits to critically acclaimed award winners. And now, Grail.
From King James Version, Genesis chapter 28, verses 15 to 17. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid, and said, How dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. From Ursula K. Le Guin. As for ideology, the hell with it. All of it. From the Holy Grail, by Alfred Lord Tennyson. God made thee good, as thou art beautiful. Chapter 1. When the World Ended. From Hamlet, Act 2, Scene 1. By William Shakespeare. In action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Danilov Baccarat was on a nightclub stage when the world ended. His third-day job was as a classical musician. He held the lease on a baby blue electric fab bass, and 2 nights a nonce he joined up with 2 guitarists and a drummer to play the greats in a Rep-Pro dive bar in Bad Landing on the east rim of Crater Lake. They did all the classics, Buddy Holly, Buddy Guy, Gatemouth Brown, Page and Plant, Thompson, Hendricks, Lee, Morris, Mitchell, Cadderley, Kasparian, Knox, Hind. It was one hell of a relief from the first-day job, where he spent 5 days out of 9, and it filled his arts requirement in style. The first-day job was as city administrator for Bad Landing, which loaned the band a certain notoriety and filled his admin and service logs. He completed the nurturing requirement with volunteer work and babysitting his sister's kids, half grateful that, given his other commitments, it was a tertiary, and half worried he was never going to find the time himself to reproduce. So he happened to be on stage before a crowd of about 175, holding up Therese while she laid fire through Johnny B. Good, when the end began. As poets had long suspected, it happened so subtly that Danilov at first had no idea of the historic significance of events beyond a sensible level of unease. There was no drama, just a brown-faced citizen in a suit and some discreet hardware, as out of place in mufti and in the club crowd as a dodecapus at a tea party. She slipped in through the kitchen, pausing behind the tables where the patrons were seated, so only the musicians and staff would see her, planting herself at the end of the bar like she'd been carved there. When Danilov caught her eye, across all those rapt faces, she frowned and nodded. She had a round face, a straight nose, and a finely pointed chin. He imagined brown or amber eyes behind smoky lashes and schooled himself to professional coolness. Damn, he thought, there goes the second set. His own security was out in the crowd, but he didn't know who most of them were, and he wasn't supposed to try to find out. So the citizen must have come with a message too sensitive to transmit, even encrypted. Thinking too much, he fluffed a chord change, but got it back before the progression fell apart on him. He turned over his shoulder and shot a signal to Chuck, the drummer, who threw in a special fill to let Therese know to end the set. She wrapped up the Chuck Berry in half the time it usually took, a minor tragedy. But as soon as she announced the break, he set his bass in the stand and jumped off the stage, landing between two tables surrounded by startled patrons. Sorry, Sis. He had to turn sideways to slip between them. The aisles were narrow, and Danelaw both broad and tall. When he got closer to the watcher, he began to realize the true depth of the problem. In addition to her suit and chrome, headwire and earset, the citizen wore a captain's crimson free-legate jewel over her left eyebrow and a worried expression across the entirety of her face. When Danelaw came up, she didn't hesitate, and she did not mince words. "Premier, I'm sorry." Her voice was light and well modulated, but he would bet it could carry across a crowd if necessary. "I'm Amanda Fryer. We haven't met. I've been sent to inform you."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.